Hello guys, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah, and guys, I'm very glad to have you on board. Now guys, today we are going to talk about the Python try except. But before we start, if it's your first time to get into this channel, please take a second, subscribe, like and share this video to your friends. And to the returning subscribers, I say thank you kabisa. Now guys, back to the main topic. Let's understand these blocks, the try block, the except block, and so forth. So basically guys, the try block lets you test a block of code for errors, and then now guys, the except block lets you handle now the the error. And then guys, now we also have the else block, which lets you execute the code when there is no error. And then guys, we have also the final block, which lets you execute the code regardless of the results of the try and except blocks. So guys, let's talk about the exception handling, like when an error occur, or exception as we call it, and then Python will normally stop and generate an error message. And then basically guys, this exception can be handled using the try statement. Like guys, I want us to have here an example, like we are going to use the try block, which is going to generate an exception. Basically I'm going to use a variable which is not defined. And then basically guys, let me try this one. Let me use this try, and then here let me say, perhaps first of all let me try to zoom in for you to see better. So let me say print print x. Remember, it's not defined here. And then basically guys, if you run it, it will give you an error. But if you include this try except, then guys, it's gonna be perfect with us. Now let me say print something like let me create a thing here, like an exception, an exception occurred. An exception occurred. And then guys, what I do, let me say let me click on shift plus F10. Remember, this is a shortcut to run these codes at the terminal. And then guys, you can see that I have this stuff in the terminal. Guys, basically guys, this try block, you can see that it generates an exception because the x is not defined here. So basically guys, if use these try except stuffs, and then guys, it's gonna give you an error. It will crash and raise an error. Like perhaps let me erase everything and say something like print is something like x, then I shift plus F10. Because it's not defined, then it's gonna give us an error. You can see guys, it give us an error. Then guys, you can define as many exception block as you want. If you want to execute a special code, a block of code for special kind of an error, like basically you can also have a print message if the try block raises a name error, and then another for other errors. Like perhaps guys, let me show you this example for you to get it very well. Like let me say try, and then let me say print x. Remember, it's not defined. And then here let me say something like except, and then here I'm gonna give it except. Basically guys, let me say except, and then here let me say perhaps a name error here, this one, the name error. And then here guys, like let me say print what, let me say print let me say perhaps a variable x is not defined, is not defined. And then also let me also add another exception here. Let me say except what, let me, you close this colon, and then here let me say what, print what, let me say print something else. Let me say something else went wrong. Something else went wrong. Guys, before we run these codes at the terminal, remember to close here with the colon here, with the colon, otherwise it will give you an error. And then guys, I click on shift plus F10 to run these codes at the terminal, and then guys, you can see that the variable x is not defined. So guys, basically let's talk about the else keyword, the else block. So first of all, let me clear everything here, and then I try to do it. Let me try to zoom in as usual. and then guys here let me say try, and then let me say what, let me say print, let me say print what, let me say print something like hello, like hello, and then here sorry, so let me say what, hello, and then here say something like except, basically except what, except let me say print, print what, print basically something went wrong, something went wrong. And then guys also here I want us to use now the else now, keyword here, the else. Now this else as you guys are going to see here in a few, this else keyword. So basically guys, first of all let me remove the indentation here. So let me say else, else, and then here let me say print, print what, let me say print print, if there's no error it's gonna print nothing, nothing what went wrong. Well guys, when there's an error, then this except will print something went wrong, and then if there's no error, then it's gonna print nothing went wrong. So let me click on shift plus F10 guys, basically to run this code at the terminal, and then guys you can see that hello nothing went wrong. So basically guys, this is how you can handle with the else keyword. So guys, basically let's talk about the finally. So basically guys, the finally block, if specified, will be executed regardless if the try block raises an error or not. Like let me have an example here, like let me first of all close everything, and then let me say try, sorry, so let me say try, basically it is try, try, then colon, you add a colon, and then here let me say print, print what, print x, and then here let me say now this exception, except what, except let me say print, print what, print if there's an exception, then it's gonna print what, something went wrong, something went wrong. And then guys also we have this now if it's not basically guys, if there's an error or not, then this finally block, remember let me first of all write finally, and now this finally block will be executed regardless of the of the try and accept blocks. So this finally is going to be printed out, so it's gonna print something went wrong because there's an error here, and also it's gonna print this stuff here that the final, like let me say print, print, and then let me say perhaps the let me say the basically try, let me say try, try except is finished. And then guys, basically let me click on what, let me click on the shift plus F10 to run the code, and then guys you can see that it printed the two items here. You can see the one for the error, the exception here, and also we have this finally. Now guys, these these concept can be useful to close objects and clean up resources. You are going to find this example on my website, the Nemtek website. And then guys, basically before we wind down, let me talk about raising an exception. So guys, basically as a Python developer, you can choose to throw an exception if a condition occurs. Like to throw or raise an exception, we use now the raise keyword. And guys, I want us to have an example like to raise an error and stop the program if we use a variable like x or any letter like x is lower than 0. So basically guys, let me first of all close everything here, and then here let me create a variable, and then assign it to an integer here like a -1, and then here let me use this if condition. So let me say if x is f is less than 0, is less than 0, then raise the error, raise this raise exception, exception what exception, let me say what let me say perhaps sorry, no number below 0. So guys, basically let me do this. Let me click on what? Let me click on the shift plus F10 to run the codes, and basically gonna you are going to see the the error there. So and basically guys, now to raise this the raise keyword is used to raise an exception, and you can define what kind of error to raise and the text to print to the user. So guys, I want us to end this video here, and I guess it has been of help to you. Please take a second, subscribe, like, and share this video to your friends. And guys, until next time, this is Nehemiah.